Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel and happy Halloween. Today's video is going to be a ghost story, and the name of the ghost story is called The Haunted Mill. I got this from a website on the internet because I was scouring the internet for ghost stories that I could tell for Halloween. I'll put the information in the description box on the website where I got it from, just in case you want to hop on over there and you need something to do for Halloween, like you need some stories to tell in the dark to your kids or anything, you know, something like that. The information will be in the description. So if you want to hear my scary story, stay tuned. The following incident happened on Halloween night 2005. The only reason this is burned into my memory is because about 6 of us were witness to it, so it often comes up in conversation. Plus, we have the photos as proof. There is a legend nearby, deep in the dark woods of an old haunted mill. The story behind it is that a family of 3 used to live there: a father, mother, and their 4-year-old son. The mother apparently went crazy and drowned her son in the pond next to the house. When the father came home from working at the mill and found his son dead, he attacked the mother, and the fight ended in the attic with the mother shooting the father in the head with a rifle. It is said that she hid his body beneath the floorboards, then hung herself up in the attic. The legend suggests if you go up in the attic and call the woman degrading names, she will appear to you. So, being the bored kids that we were, my 5 friends and I piled into the little car and drove to the haunted mill. I had my digital camera and was anxious to capture images of some ghosts. I am a bit of a skeptic too, and am always finding excuses for so-called orbs in photographs, constantly insisting that they are flecks of dust, bugs, or drafts of light. The woods that the mill is settled in are always very dark, so the moonlight hardly penetrated the trees as we arrived at the old stone house. We all crept out of the car and were startled to see 2 large black horses standing in front of the house. I quickly snapped a picture of them. Then we moved around trying to find a way in. To our dismay, the only opening was a small window through the basement. We had to get down on our hands and knees to crawl through. As I bent down, I felt someone push me from behind. I cried out and looked around to see I was in last place, and I put my hand down to catch my balance, only to cry out again as my hand caught something thorny. I looked down and saw nothing unusual. Upon examining my hand, everything looked fine. I felt like I had barbs sticking into my skin, yet I couldn't see anything. After we all squeezed in through the opening, we turned on our flashlights and we began exploring the house. The walls, to our surprise, were a drywall, and we realized that the house wasn't as old as we had originally thought. Yet, they were covered in graffiti. A lot of upside down crosses and 666 signs, which didn't do much to calm our nerves. I took pictures in every room. Finally, we made it up to the attic. We all huddled together in the center and held hands. Nobody wanted to shout the curses, so I, being the skeptic and the bravest, decided to take on that role. I shouted some choice words into the darkness around us, and we all held our breath, waiting. Nothing happened. We waited for about 15 minutes with no apparition of the woman's ghost. With a mixture of relief and disappointment, we turned and headed down the stairs. Somehow, I got in last place again, so I turned and snapped one more picture of the empty attic. I swear to you, as my flash bounced off the walls, I saw a lone female figure standing in the back corner. Terrified, I ran down the steps after my friends. No more incidences happened, although when we got outside, the horses were nowhere to be found. I took one more picture of the house, one of the old crumbling barn, one of the pond, and one of the eerie little shack we found in the backyard. Then we once again all piled into the car and left the premises. We got back to my friend's house. We hooked up my camera to the TV so we could sift through the pictures on a large screen. The results were pretty creepy. A picture of the horses captured them standing there staring at us. Their eyes were red. Now I know that often happens to people's and animals' eyes in pictures, but it was still unsettling to look at. The rooms in the house all had millions of orbs in them. I brushed it off until we viewed the pictures of the barn, the pond, and the little shack. None of those had any orbs, yet the picture of the house had tons of them. Weird. The attic photo showed nothing unusual, unfortunately, so nobody believed me when I said I thought I saw something. But the last picture that someone had snapped of the side of the house was the creepiest. A few orbs appeared in the air, but one orb in particular was an odd bluish purple color, and there was a distinct outline of a skull. I have the pictures still to this day, and everyone I have shown them to all agree that they are very strange, and the skull picture, as we dubbed it, is the most chilling picture I ever took. The weird thing is, the skull is looming directly over the place where I had snagged my hand on something. And in the following days, an odd rash appeared over all my fingers. It eventually went away, but the doctors had no idea what it was, and neither do I.